Happy Sunday. We are back up in my attic, and today we are going to be discussing something I talked about back in episode number 12. I pretty much described my entire philosophy on why I parent the way that I do and where it came from. Sound did not work here, but I'm trying to tell you that we are going to talk about how to control your kid without them knowing they're being controlled. First thing, especially in the first 2.5 years, distraction is my best friend when it comes to Rose. I hardly ever say, no, you cannot do that. No, do not play with that. No, you cannot go over there. I hardly ever say no. I'm always distracting her. When I see her doing something I don't want her to do, I say, look over here. You want to come help me with this? Do you want to come press the button over here? You want to come shut the lights off for me? You constantly distracting her and manipulating her into doing the things I want her to do versus straight up telling her, because realistically toddlers do not want to be told what to do. And I know it's annoying because a lot of parents just think they're the parent, they should be able to lay down the law right away, but toddlers don't understand that you're trying to keep them safe, and there's no way for their brains to comprehend it. You can't blame them. So you're so much better off just distracting those first 2 years. And when you see them doing the right thing, heavily applaud them, give them lots and lots and lots of attention when they are doing something that you want them to do. And then the rest just distract. And then you got to find those few things that you really care about that matter to you, and you confront in those very specific circumstances. Like Dr. Phil said one time, and I know everyone talks shit about Dr. Phil, he's not a real doctor, I don't know. Doesn't even matter. He said something that was true. He said, when it comes to kids, try your best to never confront them. But when you do confront them, you have to win. And that is something that works so well. Like the very few times I confront Rose, it's non-negotiable. It's consistent. Like every single time, for example, every single time she touches this, like tries to touch the hot stove, I say no hot. No hot. I don't distract her in that scenario because I want her to know this is not okay. This is extremely dangerous. And after so long of me doing that every single time, she doesn't even try. She just says no hot, no hot, boo boo. She gets it because I'm so consistent, and she knows no matter what, I'm not going to change how I approach this. It's a no. It's a no hot. Certain things are gonna matter to you that don't matter to another parent. Like for example, some parents really are strict about sitting down at the dinner table and eating. Some parents might not care. You have to figure out what matters the most to you, think about it, and lay down the law every single time, and you gotta let go of the rest. I promise your life is gonna be a lot easier if you use the distraction method for the first 2.5, 3 years. But of course, distraction's not gonna work forever. And that's when incentives come in. If you feel like your kid's having an off week and they just won't listen to you, this is what I do. I take out a little magnet chart, it has like a bunch of animals on it, and I say, okay, Jay, if you want to get a prize at the end of the week, or if you want to go to so and so, you want to go to your favorite place on Saturday night, then you need to get 5 monkeys. So every day that you're a good listener, you get a monkey. And they think that they're being good for themselves, for their own enjoyment, because they want to get that prize. And they're not thinking about how you're really controlling them. And that's why incentives work so good. They don't just work on kids, they work on adults. That's why companies will give you incentives, because really the company's benefiting, it's not just you. And incentive is really a form of positive reinforcement because you're giving them a reward for listening. And positive reinforcement is the best way to get your kid to repeat any behavior you want them to repeat. It's not by punishing them, it's positive reinforcement. Do not let those behaviors go unnoticed, even if they're just what's expected of them. You gotta praise them, you gotta give some sort of reward if you want them to repeat it. And that's the problem, is a lot of behaviors such as sitting out at the dinner table when you're at a restaurant, that just, it's what it's expected, right? You're not going to praise them for it, but really you should be if you want them to repeat that, right? And the next one, this one's going to work on any single age. I do it with Jay and Rose. Lead by example. If you want your kids to say please and thank you, then you need to say please and thank you to them. You need to say please and thank you to other people in your life, and you need to let them watch you. And if other people piss you off so bad and you feel like you can't be a nice person all the time, Do it to stuffed animals. Do it during pretend play. Get in their little play kitchen and act exactly like you want them to act. The younger, the better, honestly, because the more they're really watching. Like Rose is studying me like so freaking close. I get this comment a lot, and I get this in my DMs, especially lately, is I make people feel that they could be a parent and that it's not so scary. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here because I truly believe that something happened where somebody, somewhere, something overcomplicated the hell out of being a parent. And right now, what we need to do is unlearn. We need to uncomplicate this, okay? I truly, from the bottom of my heart, believe every single kid is born so amazing and special and incredible. And it's up to us to give them an environment to grow without interfering with that amazingness and specialness, and support it and love it. And that's why I'm such like a anti-screen person, because I feel like screens interfere with the natural growing process. I mean, it's not like I feel like that, it's true. They do interfere with their developing brains. That's why I always say I want to spend as much time with them as I can in the first 2 years, because babies are supposed to be with their mommies. So I feel like that helps them so much. And whenever they have like this certain little quirky things, like, Jay was wearing a freaking cloak for 2 years and he made me call him Darth Maul. I support that because that's just him. I gave him an environment to be himself. I didn't do anything for him to be this amazing. I just let him be. And that is like, it's so ironic that people think you need to do all these things to be a good parent, have like really smart kids, and like have amazing polite kids. No, you just need to give them an environment to grow and to be themselves. Recognize all the little things that make them special and support it. Let them know you love them for it and let them show it off. Most things are just a phase, and they'll come and they'll go, but it's so healthy for you to support all their little phases and not try to, hide it. Because a lot of parents, want their kid to look a certain way and act a certain way, but instead, if you let them be themselves, as something I truly believe is they will be such a better listener and they will respect you and they will be way more well behaved if you just let them be themselves. Really being a parent in 2025 is mastering the art of unlearning. Unlearn it all. Go back to the basics. Give them some sticks and some rocks and some dirt. Okay, this is very off topic, but whenever I post a video of me and Sean, I get so many like DMs and just like comments about like what's it like to be with someone for 11 years when you're 27 years old. I was thinking about it because I get this question all the time, and I figured out what the best thing is about being with someone since I was 15. And that is sometimes when I lay on him, right? Like I lay my head on his chest and like we like, cuddle, we close our eyes, go to sleep. It literally feels like I'm 15 again because he has like a scent. Like he has that scent, like it smells like his parents' house, and every once in a while I get like a hint of that scent. And I literally feel like I'm time traveling back to when we were kids and we're in his bedroom at his parents' house and we're just hanging out and he's gotta drive me home soon. It's like almost like he's like a portal, and it's just like the best thing ever. And I know I could never ever have that with anyone else. Okay, I'm running out of time, but thank you so much for listening. Let me know what you want to talk about